Hey YouTube, today we're going to be doing a real quick oil change to the 7.3 OBS Powerstroke. We are also going to be doing a fuel filter change, and we're going to be adding some Archoil. So this is all you'll need right here. You'll need 15 quarts of oil. I like to use Rotella T6. Your Motorcraft FL 1995 oil filter, and the fuel filter, and the Archoil is the AR9100 friction modifier. I used it on my last oil change, and I think it made a difference. The truck runs smoother, starts a lot easier. It's just that I think it made a difference, and so I do. Some of the tools you'll need is a hammer to punch a hole in the oil filter, a screwdriver for the same reason, a 3/4 inch wrench for the drain plug, a funnel, a piece of hose, and a little container. The hose in the container are so you can drain your diesel from the fuel filter housing. And one more thing will be something where you can make sure to catch 15 quarts of oil. Okay, so for your fuel filter change, the first thing you gotta do is locate the drain tube for the fuel, and that's under your truck on the passenger side. It's kind of like right over the leaf springs. On that same part of the engine. You'll go straight up, and it'll be right on top of this bracket right there. So as you can see right there, and just slip your hose into it, and then you'll go on top of the engine, and on the fuel filter housing you'll see a yellow valve, and you'll just pull that open. I'll show you here real quick. So on your engine, usually over the top of your engine you have an engine cover. I took it off, but anyways, this is the fuel filter housing, and this little yellow lever is what you'll need to pull to drain the fuel. So just pull it like that. So yeah, pull the lever and untwist your your cap for your fuel filter. And just start draining. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so yeah, on the fuel filter, you'll just punch a hole on the bottom of it to drain it, because it holds, I think, over a quart of oil, if not more. So you wanna drain it before you try and take it off. And all right, so back at your fuel filter, once it has completely drained, the first thing you want to do, and don't forget this, is close your valve. Close that, because if you don't and you go to start your engine, you'll make a mess. So after you've done that, unscrew your lid the rest of the way, and pull it out. So just take out your fuel filter. Make sure you take your gasket with it too. And simply screw your new fuel filter in. And just go back under the truck, unhook your drain hose, and again, make sure that this valve is closed. So, and that's it for the fuel filter. So a good tip to make this easier, like I'm doing, is to put your oil filter back in the box, and just fill it up while it's in the box like that. And also don't forget to lube up your gasket right there. So yeah, that filter actually took pretty much 2 quarts of oil. So your oil filter, you want to screw it into your oil filter housing, and they recommend that you screw it in hand tight until it's snug, and then give it 3/4 of a turn. So that's what I do. And after a couple days, I like looking under the truck, see if there's any oil leaks coming out of the oil filter. If there are, I'll just snug it up a little more, and that usually does the trick. Same for the oil drain plug. Just screw it in. You know, you don't have to crank it real tight. Just snug it up real good, and just in a few days, recheck it, make sure that it's not leaking. If it is, just give it a little bit more, and that's all you need. So by this point, we're pretty close to being done. All we really gotta do is just fill it with oil. At this point, you also want to add your Archoil AR9100. It'll take the whole bottle. And your first startup, if you did do the fuel filter on it, it might take a little while just because there's no fuel in the housing, so it might take a little while to crank, so don't worry about that. Yeah, basically that's it. Let's give it a start. A good tip to try to limit the masking make is to put some cardboard or something under your bucket or whatever you're using to catch your oil. So that's what I did. I still managed to make a little bit of a mess, but not as much. As you can see, it can get pretty bad. So that's a good tip.